Hi lovelies, welcome back. This week I want to keep it short and sweet and just give a little reminder to honor thyself. What do I mean by that? Well, it's so tempting. We live in a world where we are constantly being bombarded by messages of what we should do, how we should be, how we should look, just everything about, be this person, get this status, get this achievement, and then you will be happy. We live in a world where we're being put into boxes and put into, this never ending competition to be better and be great and be extraordinary and get to the top of the pack. And all of that, I think, is a distraction and an impediment to actually being who we're designed to be. Because I'm starting to realize more and more that there is something that is unique and beautiful and amazing about all of us following our own path. What do I mean by that? Well, it's tempting to think that we're all meant to live a certain kind of life or live a certain lifestyle or live in a certain kind of, career expectation or relationship expectation or family life expectation. Like, these are all just handed down to us as this is the way to live. But for so many of us, and I'm really having more and more of these conversations with people in my generation, other millennials, where we're starting to recognize that those might not actually be a good fit for us. And you don't have to be millennial to feel like this. I think it's a very human thing to not want to be pushed into a mold and not really feel satisfied and fulfilled by being told that there's some standard and ideal that you're supposed to strive to live up to. So basically, this week's video is just a reminder to say, look, it sucks that we are living in a culture that expects us to be constantly perfect, constantly excellent, constantly better than everyone, constantly, the keeping up with the Joneses mentality, the consumption at all costs mentality, the excellence and perfection mentality. I see these as all interwoven facets of the dominant Western culture that's really not serving us. But when I think back to how unique and special each individual person is, I think, wow, we're all here with gifts. We're all here with things that we're naturally drawn to, that we naturally enjoy, that we're naturally, just that fill us up. I mean, I was talking to my friend the other day, and his favorite thing to do is to be in the air. So he has jumped, I would say probably over 1,000, jumped out of planes over 1,000 times. He is now experimenting with wingsuits and other kind of paragliding, and I don't know all the fancy terms for it, but basically when you strap on a parachute and jump off a mountain and fly around. And this is what brings him to life. This is what lights him up. This is the joie de vivre. And for other people, it's other things. For some people, they find that they're so passionate and so inspired and so just, taken with something that is what they want to devote their time to and their energy to. And there's no right or wrong. I'm not saying that nobody should have any career-related ambitions. I'm not saying nobody should, it's not that I'm saying that there are people that should be doing exactly opposite of what they're doing now. But I think it's so important for us to check in and honor thyself and realize, what do I actually want to do? What actually fulfills me? What is my joie de vivre? What is, when I stop trying to, get in line and get to the top of the pile and fit into the box and fit into the mold that I've been told that I should fit into, what do I actually authentically want? What actually feels right for me? I'm not saying that you need to become a paraglider. I'm not saying that you need to, make huge changes in your life or your relationship or your job, but it really has been kind of fascinating and eye-opening for me to be having these conversations with people and really realizing that there are people that I see so lit up with life, so following joy and following bliss and following inspiration, and when I see that, I'm like, yes, They're doing exactly what they should be doing. It may not be what society is telling them to do. It's, 95% of the time not what society is telling them to do, but they love doing it. And that is them honoring the truest and most unique and special expression of their unique, expression in this world. I believe that we are all slightly kind of, I don't know, to use a chandelier metaphor, we're all the same source, but we're kind of cut in these very kind of unique ways to capture the light just oh so slightly differently and to have our unique expressions. I've also talked about this like a kaleidoscope. Like we have the same life energy moving through us, but it's going to show up in different and unique ways for all of us, both physically, environmentally, biologically, all those things. And so when I see that, when I see people doing what they love to do, it is so inspiring. And then on the other hand, I see a lot of people getting really, if I'm honest, getting really sick by following what they're told to do, whether they're told to do it by society or culture, whether they're told to do it by their parents, whether it's by their partner, whether it's by well-meaning friends. But on the other hand, I have a lot of these conversations with people of my age and also, older and younger than me, where people are living a life that's not theirs, that's not honoring themselves, that's not honoring their gifts, that's not honoring their joy, that's not honoring what they feel like doing with their time, what they actually want to be doing with their precious life. And it's making them really sick, and it's making them really unhappy, and it's making them really just a shell of the beauty and the just brilliance that they actually truly are. And so that's why this week I just had to come on and talk about this, because as I'm seeing this more and more, I'm realizing that it isn't that we necessarily make this big choice and we overnight go, yes, I'm going to drop everything and quit everything. And, it doesn't have to be that dramatic, but it can start with asking ourselves right now, or, in a few minutes when this video ends, what do I actually want to do today? What do I actually want to spend my time doing? What actually brings me joy? What are my gifts? What do I actually want to contribute to? What lights me up? What feels right for me to be spending my time and energy on? What is the thing that I would just do regardless of how crazy or stupid or impractical or unreasonable the demands of society and culture and other people are telling me? And when we reconnect with that, not only does our life become more beautiful, but the lives of everyone else does too. I had first-hand experience with this summer because my whole life I have wanted a van. I have ever since I was a little kid, and I realized that there were these vehicles that were, obviously I knew big motorhomes and giant RVs existed. Obviously, that's what I grew up camping in. But the first time that I realized, oh my God, there's this thing called a camper van that is not much bigger than any other passenger vehicle and, relatively small and cute and compact, but yet people live out of these things and they go places and they go to nature and they have adventures and they travel. Like ever since I realized that that was a possibility, I think I was like 10 or 11, I've wanted that to be my life. And, and I did the traditional thing of going into university and getting straight A's and picking, I thought I was going to go to law school. So picking classes that I thought would help me get a good LSAT score so that I could, get into law school with higher chances of getting into law school and do well in that. And at some point I just realized I don't want to do that. I don't want to be a lawyer. I don't want to kind of follow the socially prescripted idea of what success looks like and what I should value and what I should want. And so it was just a bunch of baby steps. It was deciding that I wanted to actually study environmental studies instead. It was making that shift through my degree and working hard and taking an overload of courses to get that portion of my degree done before I graduated in 4 years. And it was recognizing that I wanted to live in a small town in the mountains, and it was recognizing that I wanted to work for myself and do work that I feel like I'm called to do. And then finally, this summer I had to call bullshit on my own ideas of how much I was living authentically and honoring myself when I realized I really, really, really want a van. So, I got one. It was perfect. It was one of those things that the universe just couldn't have made any better. Just everything from the timing to the van I actually got. Her name is Willow. Everything just kind of fell into place as if it was meant to be. And I'm not saying that every time we make any sort of decision that I'm not saying that any time we make any sort of decision that what necessarily happens is that everything falls into place and is perfect. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is that when we live life from that place of following our joy, following our bliss, saying, I'm not going to do what's told of me and expected of me and pushed on me, I'm going to do what my heart wants me to do, wow, does life ever become beautiful. And having had that experience, and I'm definitely not done with van life. I mean, it's winter here in Canada, and anybody who knows anything about Canada knows that winter is not actually a time of ease and, warmth and smooth, clear highways that are safe to drive on. But yeah, it's one of those things that's definitely going to be a bigger part of my life as soon as the weather warms up in the spring. So as always, we have to really look at honoring ourselves and honoring what feels right and feels true to us, regardless of what we're told it should look like and how we should feel and all of that stuff. Because simply that is not where our true, unique expression of this common source lies. That's not where we become our most beautiful, brilliant selves. And yeah, I just hope this gives you a little bit of love and inspiration that it's not only okay, but it's actually, preferable to do what makes you happy and follow your bliss. So thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for tuning in. Questions, comments, always welcome below. I love hearing from you guys. Requests, whether they're questions or topics, always welcome. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I put out new videos every Friday, and I will be back with you guys next week. Have a lovely weekend following your bliss, and take care. Bye.